Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got my Plan With Me week 23 of 2025 video. Today's kit is from Planner Girls. Planner Girl is a sticker shop on Etsy. But anywho, I'll go ahead and get started. So of course I'm going to start with my sidebar and the large full boxes that I've got. Okay, so up first, I'm going to put the menu plan for the week down here. So on this week, we had sausages with mac and cheese, baked chicken legs, creamy chicken and rice, a pork roast, seared scallops, broccoli Alfredo, and then on Sunday, it was my husband's birthday. And then I do also want to add in here my two weekly habit trackers. This week I stuck with planning and reading. And I did do that every day for this week. And then of course I've got this I love my planner box sticker that came with the kit. And then I've got a little quote sticker, and it says, "Make your own magic." Okay, and then I'm going to start with all of my little date covers, because I do have those with this kit. And man, we are in the full swing of summer. Whew. I'm too tired already. But it's hot here. It's super hot. We're hitting like triple digits every day. And if we're not in the triple digits, it feels like we are in the triple digits regardless. So lots of swimming. We went to the museum this past week, which was nice. Always finding stuff to do. But then there's also things that we just don't do, because some of it is just, like, we live close to like Six Flags and Hurricane Harbor. And like we've been to both before, but we don't really go to them anymore. And my youngest can't swim yet, so there are things that we will and will not do at this point. Okay, we've got all of our date cover stickers on there. I'm going to throw all of my to-do list boxes down here. And then the last few decor boxes. Okay. There's that one, and then we add the to-do list header right there. What are your favorite activities to do with your kids during the summertime? I feel like the classics are like swimming, playing at the park, going to the zoo. My kids always want to go to water parks, but simultaneously want to avoid people, so that one's kind of hard. When I take time off, like when I take a week off work, that's when we typically do a lot of going out and activities and stuff like that. My kids don't like, at a certain point, I think once we hit like mid-June, because it's the hottest part of the year for us, it's very much like, okay, do we have to be outside though? Because it's quite hot. And then, then you've got to bring the waters and the snacks, and you've got to bring extra water, because if you run out, which we typically do, because they'll drink a lot of water because it's so hot. It just gets to a point where it's just not fun being outside anymore. Like, you think about it and you're like, yeah, let's go to the park. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's have a picnic. But then you step outside and you're like, you know what? Never mind. I'm actually a big fan of the AC. Let's just stay here. So sometimes we'll play board games inside or video games or watch movies, etc. We took a little hiatus from doing like themed dinner nights for like the past 2 months. And so we have like our first one coming up, and it's going to be a Fallout themed dinner because June is when my husband's birthday is, and he loves the game Fallout. So we just do a little celebration of him. And then it's funny because this weekend of his birthday actually ended up being far too eventful for any of our likings. And I'll get into more of that when I'm actually putting down the events for each of the days. There we go. Okay, all of the to-do lists are there, and then this is for Tuesday. This decor box says Planner Girl at Heart, and I'm pretty sure everyone can tell that is 100% accurate for me. And then for this one is for Thursday, and it says You Had Me at Planner stickers. And then here's this one for Friday, and it says Planning is my jam. There we go. Okay, now that I've got all of those down, I'm going to flip us in half and get started on Monday. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to mark for Monday is, of course, my reading. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to put it up a little bit higher just to make sure that at least most of that blue is covered. And then I'm going to put my little cell phone sticker there. And on Monday, I read for 1 hour. And then after that, I am going to mark that we went to the library. Okay, let me see if I can lift this little icon up just enough. Gotta get that spacing just right. And then now I can put that cell phone back down, and I got a little book. And I'm just gonna write library trip or library visit. Lovely. And then after that, I am going to mark here that my daughter had her summer program. And I'm just gonna put D, summer program, abbreviated, because I can only write so much. And then the next item I'm gonna mark is that I watched, I watched Wolfman, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was good. go. And then after that, I am going to mark down some planning time. I'm going to cover up as much of this blue as I can, just because it just kind of clashes completely with the theme. But that's also okay. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, and I'll put my little planner right there. And then I will write planning time. Oh, my nails kind of match the color palette. That's cool. And then after that, I am going to mark that I had a phone meeting. I'm gonna use my little phone icon. I'm not super happy about the way that covered up because I wasn't paying attention. But it's okay. Phone meeting. Perfect. And then the next thing I'm going to mark is going to be that we went swimming. There we go. And then the last item that I had for today was a little bit, there we go. That I had a little cup of tea. And I'm gonna mark it with this little girl in a cup icon. And I'm just gonna write tea time. Anybody else this way where like you just like to put exclamation points at the end of things? I am that way. If nobody has noticed that by now. I don't know what it is necessarily, but I really like to add exclamation points. Part of that is probably just to convey my excitement. And then next I've got, of course, my reading. And I'm gonna flip this way. Then I will add my little cell phone guy, or icon, but I'm gonna trim it up a little bit because for this particular thin box, it just looks much larger than it needs to be. Just a quick little trim, and then I think we are good. There we go. And then on Tuesday, I read for 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours. There we go. And then just to add some extra craziness, I ended up having some car issues on this particular day. Luckily, my husband is amazing and was able to fix it without even purchasing anything. It turns out it was a bad spark plug. But when I tell you having your check engine light come on over and over again just is not fun. I'm just gonna put car issues. And then I'm just gonna mark down real quick, or write down real quick. If I can get this sticker off of this page, that would be fabulous. Okay, there we go. On Tuesday, I watched Until Dawn. And then there's the little TV, and then I will put Until Dawn, which I did like that movie very much, actually. That was some parts of it were really funny. I felt like, and then some parts of it were a little creepy. But I did like it overall. I'd watch it again. And then the next item is, again, my daughter had her summer program. Okay, well, I fit most of it on there. That's fine. And then my son did have martial arts this day. So I will put that here. And I'll put the little car here. And then I will write son martial arts. And then the last item that I had for this day if I can read, that would be so helpful, was the menu planning. Come on, sticker. Okay, I'll put this here. And then I will write menu planning. There we go. And then on Wednesday, I'll start my reading. And then I will trim up this box as well. Oh, and I just scraped on there. That's not a fun sound. There we go. And I will throw that up here. And then on Wednesday, I read for 30 minutes. And then, let's see. Next, I have my daughter's summer program. Again with the scraping. And then let's see, I also had to do, or I had, the car inspection. And I have a little car icon. Okay. And now I can write car inspection. And then we did watch Death of a Unicorn, me and my daughter. It's that moment when you're like, I'm trying so hard to place this properly, and the sticker's just like, are you though? Okay. And I'm actually gonna put this down here in the corner. And then I'm going to write Death of a Unicorn. again, my handwriting on this foil is just never pleasant. And then, okay, and then my son also had martial arts this day, and I posted a YouTube video. So let's start with the YouTube video. Here we go, almost. And then I'll put my little laptop girly, and then I will write YouTube video. And then I know I had a sticker for this, but oh well. I'll use this little icon. There we go. Okay. I'll flip this one this way, and I'll put this here for my son's martial arts. And then after that, I did play Diablo 4 on Wednesday. And then I will just write Diablo 4. And actually this week I did get back into Diablo Immortal, which is a game you can play on your phone if you wanted to do so. Okay, and then I also had bills and budgeting. Fabulous. And then I'm gonna have to change the box for the last item. Okay, and let me grab my icon. There we go. And this one is for planning time. There we go. And that is the last item for Wednesday. Now I'm gonna flip it over and get started on Thursday. Okay. Now for Thursday, I am of course going to start with my reading. And come on, little bucks. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one right up here at the top. And I will throw my phone icon over here. I read for 1 hour. Use my thicker pen. There we go. And then my daughter did also have her program on this day. Put this here. And then come on. I'm gonna do a little bit of a layered sticker moment. Actually, I'm gonna put this one on top first, so that way, when I put this over here, I know where I need it, because I need a little extra space. There we go, that looks good. Then I put my little game controller. Now write Diablo 4. There we go. And then I did watch Rosario this day as well. There we go. Then put my little adorable TV icon. And then I will write Rosario. This one was a little bit, I'm not sure I'd watch that one again necessarily. It wasn't bad or anything, just I wouldn't say it's like the greatest film I've ever seen either. Sometimes you just watch a movie and it's a one-time watch. Sometimes you like to watch it again. And then for the last item, I don't want to see that blue spot. Okay, I'm sorry that my fingernails are scraping on some of these stickers and it's just an unpleasant sound. I'm gonna try and see if this thicker box will cover up this and not look insane. Okay, I would like for it to be really straight. That'd be lovely. Good enough. And then let me grab my little phone call icon. Called my parents. Okay, that moves me on to Friday. And on Friday, let me start with marking my reading. Again, I'm going to trim this. Anybody else uncoordinated? I can definitely own that I am. There's a reason I never played like sports. It's just not my thing. Primarily because like I feel like I'm gonna drop all of the balls. And on this day, on Friday, I read for 2 hours. And then let's see. Of course, my daughter had her summer program. There we go. And then this is Friday. We also went swimming with friends this day. There we go. Okay, Okay. Oh, I totally almost forgot to put my little icon on here. My little swimming person. Okay, and I'm gonna write swimming with friends. And then the next item that I'm going to mark here is going to be, let me see if this box is going to fit. I feel like I do, but don't have enough space all at the same time. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this box. I'm gonna overlap ever so slightly. And then I'm gonna grab this other box and put it right down here. That works. Okay. On the smaller of the two boxes, oh, I need my tweezers because this one's tiny. There we go. I'm gonna put this one here. And then I will put this one there. Because this one I did a facial. And then I watched Supernatural. I need a center marker. Supernatural. And no, this is not my first time watching Supernatural. I've watched Supernatural quite a few times. The seasons towards the end tend to be the hardest for me to get through, but like the first probably like 10 to 12 seasons are just like, I love them. I've watched them quite a few times. But I've been watching that show since forever ago. And the first thing I'm gonna put up here at the top, and actually I'm gonna flip this upside down because I do want to put this kind of like up here on these, on the date stickers, just to give myself a little bit more space. Okay. I should have probably added that beforehand, but that's okay. Okay, so for Saturday, the first thing I'm gonna mark on Saturday is a couple different things actually. So my son had at his martial arts studio, they had like a summer bash. So we went to that. He absolutely loved it. Okay, and then did I definitely lose my sticker for that one? Yes. Is that okay? Yes. I'm gonna put this little star there. So that was the summer bash. And then I'll go ahead and mark my reading now. Need to trim up this sticker too. And then whoops. Just put this right over here. And then I read for 1 hour. And then after that, actually gonna use this. And I'm gonna add this sticker to this sticker. Goodness. Okay. Okay, looks good enough. Okay, and this was when my boys went to the Ham Radio Expo. And then after that, oh, my ear. Okay, after that, I'm just gonna mark right here with this big gigantic box. If I can lay it down properly. And I'm gonna put this right here in the bottom corner. And lunch. So while the boys went to that radio expo, I took myself out to lunch and just kind of played video games, and I think I even took a nap and read and just kind of did some me stuff that day. And then of course I did also get some planning time in. Okay, here we go. Planning, whoops, this sounded like I ripped the paper or something. Okay. Planning time. A little icon. And I'll write planning time. And then for the last item for this day, I'll just use this one. Well, maybe not. Okay. There we go. And this, I'm using this to mark the hunting trip that my husband went on. So I believe I said earlier in this video that this week got kind of complicated, or insane really is the word I'm going to use. And realistically, it was strictly on my husband's actual birthday that it got crazy. So he left this evening to go out to the hunting property because he got himself a new rifle and he wanted to test it out and sight it in and all that good stuff. Well, he goes out there to the hunting property. He gets there middle of the night, really. And then he gets his truck stuck in the mud. So he decided to sleep and then try to get it unstuck in the morning, because out at this property, it's out in the country, so there's no lights. You can't see. So he was already struggling to see, let alone trying to get the truck unstuck. So in the morning, sun comes up. He starts trying to get the truck unstuck, at which point he calls me and he's like, hey, so I'm stuck. And I'm like, that's a problem. And he's like, yeah, but like I'm working on it, because I can't he's already told me I can't take my SUV out to this property because it will not handle that terrain. It's not meant for off-roading. It's very much, I've got low profile tires, so it's not designed for going off-roading. So not that kind of SUV. But he proceeded to stay stuck till the middle of the day, and he ended up having to call his friends whose property it was to come help him get unstuck, and then they ended up getting stuck in the same mud. And while that's happening over there, and he's 3 hours away from us, multiple of our fire alarms start failing in the house, and we didn't know at the time that it was the fire alarms. Ended up, when I called like our like non-emergent number, they were like, well, if it's not stopping, then it could be the carbon monoxide detectors, because we have an older house. So, well, anyways, they're separate. There's one separate, and they were thinking that it was carbon monoxide, so we had to leave, and they called the fire department. And we were also in the process of like getting ready for some really bad storms. It was just a chaotic Sunday. It was way too many things for a Sunday. Sundays are for relaxing, and this Sunday did not end up that way. But anywho, so of course I am going to mark my husband's birthday and his return from his hunting trip. Oh, my hands are shaking. Probably because I need to eat lunch, as per usual. Put this here. Okay, and then I'm gonna write husband's birthday and hunting trip. Oops. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and mark my reading for the day. I can get this sticker off and then get it trimmed. And then I'm gonna put this here. There we go. And then trim up my reading sticker real quick. There we go. And then I will put the little cell phone icon right there, and a red for 30 minutes. There we go. And then up next, on this one, I'm gonna put the little family time script sticker that came with the kit, but obviously not all of us were present. And we went, I think we did like a 3-mile hike and swimming. 3-mile hike and swimming. And then let's see, we did have a grocery delivery this day as well. Where'd my grocery sticker go? Am I losing my mind? I had it here, and then it like vanished. That's okay. I have a different one. I'll just use this little shopping cart to go over here. Okay, so that was groceries. Anybody else sick of like paying for groceries? Because like I am, 10 out of 10. We can skip that for the rest of forever. And then this one this way. I'm gonna scoot this one up a little bit because I can already see that I'm squished for room here. And then I'll add this sticker. And I'm just gonna write fire department. I'm not gonna lie, when the fire department was heading to my house and when they pulled up, I was definitely sitting there to myself thinking, am I about to look really dumb and they're gonna like push this button and it's gonna turn off? Because that would just be so mortifying. But then they couldn't figure it out either, and I was like, okay, so I'm not just incapable of like running my own household. Cool. Thanks, guys. Life just be too interesting sometimes. And then the last item, I'm gonna put right there. And then I've got my little girl with her planner for my planning time. And I'm actually gonna put her a little bit further down so that she doesn't cover half of that word. And then I'll just write planning time. There we go. And that is all I've got for this week 2023 plan with me. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me while I put all of this down on paper. If you guys have any questions on any of the items that I'm using or the next video you want to see, definitely just leave that in the comments below. I'm always happy to respond to you guys and add some new videos to the list that are coming up. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week and had fun planning with me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.